Hello, this is 4th grade worksheet lesson 31. Okay, first off with equations with variables. And again, variable meaning a placeholder. So variable can be anything, such as irrational number or a rational number like pi or con e or anything. Or even like logs and derivatives or anything. A variable can be anything. So let's try to solve number one. Okay. Uh, so your main goal for solving variable is to leave your variable isolated, meaning it has to be like it by itself. So if you add everything here, then this becomes 36, and you have x behind. So if you want to isolate x, then you have to subtract 36, which is equal to 200. Okay, number two. So this is the same question except that this is negative. So if you add everything, then this becomes 58 negative. And you have x behind again. And if you want to isolate it, you're gonna add 58. So this becomes 200 again. So 200 again. And let's do number 3. So 3 is 10 multiplied by x. So there's two ways to write it, and that this is one way where you just write multiplication symbol in between, or you can just write 10x is equal to 2560. And if you want to isolate it, then you're always doing the reverse, which is the division. So if you divide, then this becomes 256. And number 5, if you're dividing, you're multiplying. So 12 times 40 is 480. And the reason why you're doing the reverse is because if you rewrite x divided by 12, this becomes x over 12. And since you want to isolate your variable, you have to cancel out your denominator. And the only way that you can cancel out the denominator is by multiplying the denominator by itself. So you're multiplying 12 both sides in order to cancel out the denominator. Okay, everything should be easy. Okay, let's try number 13. So if you want to isolate x, then you have to subtract 109 and 43, which will get you 66, negative 66. But notice that your x is not positive, instead it's negative. So in other questions, the x was always positive. And the question is asking for solve for x, which is not negative x. So you have to convert this x into positive x, and you can do that by dividing negative 1 specifically. So if you divide negative 1, this becomes 66. Okay. Orders of operations should be very easy because you've encountered it a lot and you're familiar with this and you know the rule, which is PEMDAS. So let's just do a few questions, like two. Start up number 1. If you have subtraction, addition, and multiplication, you're doing the multiplication first, which will get you 54. And this 12 cancels out, so you're adding 3 basically, so it will be 57. Okay. Let's try number 7. So 2 parentheses, multiplication and addition. So you always have to do the parentheses first, so it'll be 7. This will be 15. And 7 times 15 is 105. So 105 added by 10, which will be 115. Okay. 11, very quick. This becomes 0. And anything multiplied by 0 is just 0, so we 103. Okay. Multiplication should be very easy. Number 1, if you're multiplying factor of 10, then you just put how many zeros behind. So it'll be 124, 0, 0. And rest of them should be very straightforward, so let's just move on to the word problems. So let's make an equation for this, number 1. And let's read the question first before we make the equation. So James read 3 books, and he read the first one in 1 week, which is 7 days, with 25 pages every day. And he read the second book in 12 days with 23 pages every day. And he read the third book in 5 days with 24 pages every day. What is the total number? Meaning, how many pages did he read that James read? So for the first book, we can make equation something like 7 times 25, because you're reading 25 pages every day for 7 days. And for the second, you can write it like 12 times 23, because in 12 days and every day you're reading 23 pages. And for the third, you can write 5 times 24. And if you just combine everything, then this becomes in parentheses 7 times 25 plus 23, 12 times 23, and plus 5 times 24. And the reason why you're adding is because you want to find the total number. So you have to add everything from first to the third book. And if you were to put it into a calculator or solve it out, then this becomes 571 pages. Okay, let's try number 2. So Jack had $200 to buy drinks and sandwiches for his birthday party. He bought 8 small drinks at $4 each, and each drink and 8 sandwiches at $12 each sandwiches. Okay, that's kind of weird wording. How much money was left after shopping? So we can also make equation for this, and we can start off by total amount of money, which is going to be $200. And then he bought 8 small drinks, and small drinks cost $4 each, so it'll be 8 times 4. So 8 times 4. And sandwiches are $12, and he bought 8 of them. So it'll be 8 times, in this case, it'll be 12. So what you can write is 200 minus in bracket 8 times 4. And then you have to add, because you're buying drinks and sandwiches, so it'll be 8 times 12. And if you were to put this into calculator, then you should get $72 left. Okay, this is it, and then thanks for watching.